I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill, I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill, I got this hill.
I mean, well, it starts early with freestyling, like a lot of other people in your neighborhood, on the corner. A lot of just being in that realm, a lot of OGs freestyling and being super young and wanting to kind of butt in and say what you have to say. And that's kind of the beginning, the very beginning. But then going from there and wanting to start record yourself, and people taking from things you might have said in a freestyle battle, or taking from your little karaoke tape you might record it, and then they're like, yo, that one line you said, like it all kind of starts there. That all right, the power of words. Like I have something to say that people are listening to what I have to say. And then from there, it's about taking it 100% serious. I think around 2001, 2002 was the beginning of me taking it 100% serious. Recording myself, producing my own music. My first project I dropped was a screwed up tape called Coming Down. And then after that I dropped Dirty 30 in my hometown. And just the response from people and seeing what they thought about the music and them being like, yo, you need to keep this up. And 2004 was when I started going to Atlanta. And you start leaving your comfort zone. I dropped See Me on Top 1, and I met DJ Folk and DJ Wallace Sparks, and they started promoting my music, and I dropped a record called I Just Touched Down. And that's what started getting me my rounds as far as Atlanta. And then I went through a period where nothing happened. I dropped mixtapes, See Me on Top 1, 2, 3, Hood Fame, but it's just the music game was changing so fast around me. And my music wasn't necessarily materialistic, or I didn't have a large amount of money. I didn't have a lot of CDs I could press up and give away for free. And so it put me in a position where it was hard to financially stay afloat, things like that. And 6, 7 years later, 2010 rolls around, and Johnny Shipes reached out to me to work with him with Cinematic Music Group. I shot 3 videos with Creative Control, GFC, Steve-O, did all my marketing. I dropped a project called K.R.I.T was it on May 4th, and that was the beginning and the birth of my entire career to this point. I think they got me on blogs that I've been trying to get on for 6 years. They got me in magazines that I never thought I'd be in. Got the attention of Def Jam, and been grinding ever since.
I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill, I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill, I got this hill.
I don't remember the first lyrics I wrote, but I will tell you that they probably it's probably super like dramatic, like over the top, like gangster rap, like it was something like that. Cause I was super influenced by, in the beginning, Tupac and Biggie. And so, like on some, like, thug life, like, yeah, it was kind of like that, I'm pretty sure.
Get this paper slightly down, get this paper slightly down, get this paper slightly down, get this paper sometimes you gotta talk to them.
It's difficult, it's very hard, cause I want to rap over all my beats. And so it's hard to separate the artist from the producer and just give a track that I probably really love and I really like, I really need to keep this for myself. It's hard to find time to produce and rap. I like to spend an enormous amount of time in the studio, and being on tour, being on the road, being tired, it's very difficult to be creative. But I'm learning. I have great mentors like David Banner, in my corner, a person I can call and be like, yo, how do you balance the two? And he'll tell me like, this is how I did it, it worked for me, and so it helps. It's somebody you can call.
I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill, I got this hill, I got this hill, women, I got this hill.
Take from everything that people loved about my music in the beginning, but also show growth in the now. I had the opportunity again to produce all live from underground. I had to look at it like this was gonna be the first time that there's gonna be some people that never heard my music before, and it's the first time they ever heard of me. I heard of my music, period. So I had to treat it like I was renewing something that I'd already been doing, the sound that I'd already created. I was renewing it for the newer listener, but also reminding the older listeners, like, I'm not gonna change. That there's gonna be growth there, that I have time to figure it out as far as a producer, as far as an artist. And I still got to do it my way. I featured all the artists that I really love and I look up to. I got a record with B.B. King, which trumps everything that I ever thought I'd have, as far as a musician. And so I feel like I won. It exceeded all the expectations that we thought. So.
Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper. Sometimes you gotta talk to them.
Crazy. All of them are extremely professional. For one, having Bun B on pull up was it was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Like I've worked with Bun B a lot now, and so he's probably gonna be on every album I drop from this point on. Having a record with Ludacris, another artist I look up to, and is also my partner, so it made sense. Melanie Fiona brung the record "If I Fall to Life" to the max. Like, her voice is super soulful. Big Sean is on the album, which is my brother. You know, Devin the Dude on hydroplaning. You know, that made sense. You know, and just working with people that embodied the same kind of grit that I have as far as my music, that they stay true to themselves. We talking about 8 Ball, MJG, you know, 2 Chainz, and then B.B. King. You know, I never would have imagined that. And the kind of record that it is, I feel like is extremely powerful. And I'm planning on shooting a video for it, and I pray that people can really take something from that song. You know?
Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper slightly dough. Get this paper. Sometimes you gotta talk to them.
Well, publishing is interesting, for one. I figured out publishing a long time ago. So me producing my entire album is a win-win. You know, you 100% publishing, you produce the album, you already retain 50% of the publishing. So, and I wrote the hook, you know, and I'm rapping on the record, I win, you know what I'm saying? And then if the record's a hit, I really win. But it started off where I couldn't afford to pay for beats. And so over time, I started producing for myself. I took the art form seriously, and I learned to love it. I learned to love to create the song from the ground up. It's all my idea. And then I went through a period where I was rapping on a lot of other people's beats, and it was producers I was working with, and they didn't like what I was creating on their tracks. And so that's kind of like excuse my French, a mind fuck when you write a song, 3 verses, a hook, and then you record the song, and then you play it back for the person that produced it, and they say, that's not really what I wanted. But then they can't tell you what they wanted either. Yeah. So for me, it was like, it was an insecurity kind of thing. Like, you know what, I want to make a record. If it's not jamming, you'll never hear it. And so I'm in that kind of zone. Normally, my inspiration comes from real life. Conversations I have with people. Just going outside, seeing something. A movie, the news. Like, there's so much inspiration around you. There's so much content around you. Every day is different, so you should never run out of it. And so I rap about my real life, and my real experiences and people that I encounter, and I put it in my music. And I think that's why people can relate to it so much, because they go through the same things I go through.
I got this here. 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 I got this here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's in the works. I mean, as soon as the tour is over, the tour is roughly, it's almost over. So I have time to be in the studio and create. And I want to create something sonically that sounds like something that people are already used to hearing from us, but different a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because this is the first time that I really do an entire group project with somebody. And then I know just how passionate Yellow Wolf is about music too. So it's not like we're going to throw anything together. It's going to take some time. You know, but hopefully we'll be done with it by the end of the year. I have to be very conscious of samples and things, even though it's going to be a free project, I'm sure. I just want to make sure that everything is cleared, everything's taken care of. So when we do drop it, and if we do go retail, that it's okay.
I got this here. 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 I got this here.
Lord willing, producing for all sorts of genres of music on my 3rd album. You know, hopefully I'd have everything figured out as far as performance, stage presence, bands, lighting, things like that. Being on stage and performing is half of the music, you know, now. So I want to be able to give people, I want to bring my music to life so much on stage. And so, you know, hopefully that'll all come within 5 years, and just making music that has some kind of timeless effect to it, quality, longevity, all of that is important. Definitely.
Why?
Because of faith. I mean, faith and understanding that God has a plan for me regardless of what I think. You make your choices in life, but it's always something that's set out for you to do, something you're meant to do. There was a point in time in my life that I didn't really think that music would be what it was for me, and I prayed about it. And every time I got to the point I was ready to quit, something came about to help me financially, to keep me going. I feel like I can do anything now.
Get this paper slightly down. 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 Sometimes you got